Well, hello there. My name is Olli. I'm from Germany, and this is my first video here on YouTube. This video is a contest entry for the 3,000 subscriber giveaway contest of Todd E Walnuts. Todd, first a big thanks to you. I really like your content. I think you have a really calm voice, and the way you present your stuff is really amazing. I appreciate every single one of your videos, and I admire your collection. It's a really great collection, and I'm very thankful for all your videos that you released over the years. And because of that, I decided to make my first video as a video response to your contest video and give a little bit back of what you were giving for years. Yeah, so I will start right with the first question, which was what my favorite piece in my collection would be. And I had to go with this extended collector's edition of The Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies, and it's a really big edition, and I'm trying to get it on the picture here so that you can see the whole beauty. It's got artwork on 3 of the sides. That's the front. We can already peek a little bit inside, and that's the 3rd side. Really nice. I really love it, and it's still wrapped in plastic foil, so I'm just going to show you the back. And this is a figure which is included, depicting Gandalf and Bilbo, and I think it's really nice. Those two are some of my favorite characters, and I really love how they interact in those movies. And yeah, this is a really big box with 5 discs, tons of extra material, and I absolutely love the figure. So I guess this would be the pick for, well, the best thing I got in my collection, something I do really value very much. Yes. The second question was, and I found it pretty funny and interesting to think about it. What would I do if someone knocks on my door, repossessing every movie in my house, if I could only keep 5 of them? That was a difficult question, because there are, of course, much more than 5 movies in my collection, which I would love to keep. I'm collecting since I was at the age of 12 maybe, and now I'm 20, so a couple of years. Yeah, and I decided to pick those, which I'm going to show you right now. And the first one is The Lord of the Rings. And I decided to go with it as one spot on my list, because it's one story, and I think it belongs on one spot, because it's one big, yeah, it's just one big thing, and it's one great, amazing story, and I didn't want to tear it apart. If I had to decide which one my favorite was, I'd say it's the second one, because, you know, you've already seen so much, and you will be seeing much more really amazing stuff, and that's the reason why I'd probably choose the second one. And this is the extended edition. It's got this nice card of Middle-earth and a little, well, picture here of some of the main characters. And every movie comes in a separate emery case. And yeah, the reason why I love Lord of the Rings so much is, I guess, because I think it's really a flawless story. These are flawless films. I love everything about them. I love the story. I love the characters, the landscape, the way it was filmed, the battles, the story, this fundamental fight between good and evil. I think it's really great, and these are films I like to rewatch like every year, maybe sometimes a couple of times every year, and yeah, that's really amazing. But I guess everyone has seen it, so yeah, not really a big recommendation because you've seen it probably, but if you haven't, go check it out. The next thing I'd like to show you, and which I wouldn't want to miss in my collection, is this complete collection of Ip Man. These are martial arts movies, and I'm not cheating right here, because I'm just choosing the first movie as my recommendation or my pick for this top 5. And yeah, what I like especially about those, there are really great fighting scenes, really great performances, especially from the protagonist, Ip Man, and he's a very honorable man of values, and I really like him as a person in this movie, and it's really interesting to see his way in those movies, his journey, and there are many movies to this day, and still some movies are coming out, and I'm really looking forward to those, so I can really recommend those movies. Really great stuff, really atmospheric, really, yeah, really motivating to get to know what's gonna happen next and what obstacle you will be able to, well, overcome. So this is the vinyl size collector's edition. It comes with a booklet where the discs are included. That's the back, and if you have seen the movies, you know what this is. This is, for his training, a very important part. And I'm going to show you just a quick look at this paper which was included, so you can see these things that are included. Yeah, really nice edition, really nice pictures in the book, some informing texts, and everything you could possibly ask for if you're a fan of the series and of Ip Man himself. Yeah. So, moving on to the next thing in my collection, I decided to go with Donnie Darko. This is the Arrow video steelbook, and most of you probably know the Arrow video releases and the Arrow releases, and these are always really great. And this is a movie which really coined me. It was one of the first movies I, well, was really passionate about and always name if someone asks me what my favorite movies are. And I'd like to read this short paragraph here because it sums it up pretty good. Donnie's a troubled high school student in therapy, prone to sleepwalking and in possession of an imaginary friend, a 6-foot rabbit named Frank, who tells him the world is going to end in 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes and 12 seconds. During that time, he will navigate teenage life, narrowly avoid death, and in the form of a falling jet engine follow Frank's maladjusted instructions and try to maintain the space-time continuum. And as you can see, it's really a mystery movie, a movie where a lot of things are going on, where you really want to know what's going to happen next and how it all will end. And I don't want to tell you anything else, because if you haven't seen the movie, it would give away too much. So, really big recommendation. I absolutely adore this movie. The next movie I decided to pick is Eden Lake. Just a short piece of information about this movie, because again, I don't want to give away too much if you haven't seen it. It's about this couple. Kelly Reilly and Michael Fassbender are depicting them very, very nicely and very sympathetic, and they are on vacation and they come across a group of young people, and let's say they molest them and they really are giving them a hard time. The kids are giving the couple a hard time, and there are some really hard scenes, some very bitter scenes, and the ending is phenomenal, I guess. Something, well, it really blew my mind when I saw it the first time, so a really big thumbs up for this movie. I really enjoyed watching it, and if you haven't, go watch it. And the last movie I chose for these 5 titles will be Old Boy, and this is a really great movie, a revenge thriller, crime thriller if you want, and the premise can be summed up very shortly with the following words. There's this man, depicted by Choi Min-sik, and he is being kidnapped and held prisoner in a room for 15 years, and then he is released and of course wants to find out why he was captured, because he doesn't know. And I thought this was so intriguing, so capturing, this idea, and it's a really phenomenal film, and I love everything about it, and it's got another great plot twist at the end, so it really deserves a watch if you haven't watched it by now. Really, really good movie. So, and moving on to the last of those questions, which has actually got 3 parts, starting with my favorite giallo. And I have to say, I haven't seen that many gialli. I guess gialli is the correct term. in my life, because I started only recently watching those, but I'm a big fan of those I have already watched. There were some movies of Dario Argento I really enjoyed watching, and Tenebrae was the one that I liked the most. I guess I'm again just gonna read this little paragraph right here. A razor-wielding psycho is stalking the horror writer Peter Neal in Rome to promote his latest work, Tenebrae, but the author isn't. The obsessive killer's only target, the beautiful women who surround him, are doomed as one by one they fall victim to the murderer's slashing blade. Excuse me. Yeah, and there you got it. This really cliche giallo weapon at the end. Right here, a slashing blade, as it's described. I really like the movie. There's some very fantastic movements of the camera. I like the characters. It's very suspenseful from the first to the last minute. And what I really enjoy when I'm watching gialli is that you never know who the murderer might be, who the antagonist could be, and what his motives are. And yeah, it's always kind of a riddle. And thinking about it, who could it be, is very interesting all the time. And sometimes I'm very surprised because it's not the one I thought, but it's someone completely different. So a really big thumbs up for that movie as well. Really enjoyed Tenebrae, and I'm looking forward to watching more gialli as time goes by, especially from Dario Argento. There are some really big classics I haven't seen to this day, like Deep Red, for example. I have it at home, but I just didn't watch it till this day, and really looking forward to doing that. So my next pick is a little bit of a cheat, I guess, because the second question was what my favorite monster movie creature feature would be, and some might argue, well, it's not really a creature feature, but I guess you could take those mutants in the movie as monsters, as creatures, and because of that I decided to go with this one. It's the remake of a older film, and I have to say I've seen both, and I really much prefer the new one, the remake, this edition here. And it's basically about a family. They are on vacation, again, the vacation theme, I seem to like those movies, and the car of this family breaks down somewhere in the desert in New Mexico, and they have to deal with some mutants. And again, it's a very brutal, very raw movie, very relentless, I'd say, and one of my favorite horror movies of all time, definitely, and a very hard watch, to say the least. So really good movie. I can recommend this to everyone who hasn't seen it. And my last film I'm showing here is my favorite slasher of all time. This is The Burning in this amazing steelbook. Look at that artwork from Arrow Video again. Don't look, he'll see you. Don't breathe, he'll hear you. Don't move, you're dead. The Burning, yeah, really great movie. I like this classic slasher setting of a summer camp where one by one is being picked by the killer and killed. And I think there's some, well, great kills, if you can say that, in this movie. Very interesting. I like the nature, how it is depicted, and I think it's very important that the characters are to a certain degree sympathetic, because if you don't care about them, well, you don't really care if they're killed or not in those movies, and if you care about them, it makes the whole movie a lot better, I guess, and this movie makes it really good. And yeah, one of my favorite, maybe my favorite slasher, I guess, in my collection, The Burning, yeah. So I guess that's it already with the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I guess I will be uploading some videos in the future. Don't know what they will be about, but I guess this would just be the beginning of my journey here on YouTube. If you like those movies, if you have recommendations as well, if you just want to add something or have some feedback, please feel free to tell me about it in the comments. And yeah, thanks again to Todd for this great possibility of making a video, and I guess I'll see you the next time. Bye.